Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines, and most importantly, to provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. At the end of the day, you guys, I want to see people stay in business. I want to keep people in business and help everybody live that American dream like I'm living. It's why I proudly fly the flag behind me every single day. You guys, I'm living my American dream. I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. And, you know, frankly, at the end of the day, it's the greatest fucking country on the face of this earth. So we got to maximize these opportunities that are in front of us here. Drew Driscoll, what's up, brother? Good to see you in here this morning. Nicholas Liendo. Sorry if I botched your last name there. Let's go, baby. Yeah, guys, Tuesday. And, you know, it's finally our summertime out here in Phoenix, Arizona, the new freight capital of the United States of America. Yeah, it's gorgeous out here and everything else. We got some headlines to talk about, do some other things that we're going to break down here today. We're going to do a little live market insight, and we'll go over kind of like what I'm doing now and everything that I'm building up. So let me see here. Got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub, you guys, vhubapp.com. Doesn't matter if you're a freight broker, carrier, shipper, we all need access to trailers at some point in time. And this, for me, is an opportunity for you to get creative in an ever-changing landscape in sales. It's one of the things that I would like to think of, like, how do I separate myself? And, you know, this is one of those options is, you know, we always need access to that. And frankly, you know, with the rising fuel costs, which we'll get to today, this is a way to help these small fleets stay profitable and in business and everything. And that's what we need right now. And the best part about this, you guys, if you're a small carrier and your trailer's in the shop, you don't have to shut your operation down. And like I said, you get paid to do this. And this is on top of the revenue that you can get by loading out in the back of that trailer. So with what they're working on right now, you guys, Paragould, Arkansas to Orting, Washington, you get paid $1,550 to move this trailer. And that's a brand new 2023 dry van. That's on top of the revenue you can get by loading that out, you guys. Think about that. Also, they have some reefers available down in Ron Burgundy's hometown of San Diego, going out to Selma, Texas, $750 to do that. They also have a dry van in San Diego needing to go down to Laredo, Texas. You get paid $600 to do that. And then these are an open offer out there. So they have trailers in Dallas needing to go into Mississauga, just outside of Toronto. There, you guys, it's an open offer, excuse me. So get on there, vhubapp.com. And put that in there. And just do me a favor, let them know that the Freight Coach sent you, you guys. They're the ones who help keep this neon light on behind me every single day. And my friend Stacey Seen and Xavier Campos, they'll be in the audience here. Sean, what's up, brother? Let's fucking go. You are right. Good morning to you. Dion, I don't know why you're just finding out about this, man, but thank you for joining us here and taking the time to come and listen to this show. Joey Funk, what's up, brother? The Christmas Door County here. Door County, Wisconsin. Get some. I'm actually from Wisconsin. Born and raised, you guys. I'm a cheesehead, Green Bay Packer fan through and through. Although this year is, you know, starting out. It's still early in the season, but I moved out west because, frankly, I was sick and tired of 30 below zero. And you know what we don't get out west? 30 below zero. All right, you guys. This is day 137 of the Freight Coach. This is the 137th live show that we've done, you guys. This is also just another subtle reminder out there that we got some work to do in this industry when it comes to some of these core issues, when it comes down to truck parking. One of my friends that I follow out there, he's James Lewis. He's a driver. Follow him on LinkedIn, you guys. He's got some insight into this as well, you know, truck parking. And it's also deeper than that. It's access to facilities. We're talking about showers at truck stops and food and other things that we kind of take for granted. Our drivers are lacking out there in the market. So again, you guys, we've got to continue to bring this up, and I'm not going to stop talking about this. I don't do this for vanity metrics, you guys. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. I've been creating enough content long enough to know that quality content's rewarded, and it takes a lot of time to build it up. But I'm here to literally drive change in this industry. You guys, I'm sick and tired of all the talk, and it's time for some actual action and to make a lot of this change happen here. I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday, but diesel up to $5.33 a gallon again. It's up 50 cents a gallon over the last 2 weeks, you guys. Shockingly, right after OPEC said that they were going to cut $2 million in production. And I don't know, again, you guys, like, and for those of you who are watching this, you guys, I'm very unapologetically pro-American and American jobs and everything. And the fact that we have to depend on other countries to get our oil right now due to current policies is fucking pathetic to me. We are the greatest nation on earth. We should have zero foreign dependence on anybody. We should be out here trading with people because we can, not because we have to. And yeah, it's clearly, you guys, at this point, it's a major issue. I got to give a shout out to my friends over at Trucker Tools, because on their app, which is free to drivers, you guys, you can pull up the lanes that you're running on there, and it's going to show who's got the most profitable or the most cost-effective fuel out there on their app. And you can put all of that information in there, you guys. So hit them up as well, Trucker Tools. They can help you with this. I mean, because the fuel, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane what it is. And it's going to get higher. Like I hate to break it to you, but I feel like it's going to get higher unless there are some drastic changes here, like opening up some pipelines here in America and making that shit happen. I guarantee that might have something to do with it. But anyways, I digress. We're here to talk about freight. Let's see. Julia, what's up? She's out there posting some cool pictures this morning of one of her drivers getting loaded up here today. I love seeing that stuff personally. Stace, what's up? Let's fucking go. Good to see you, Stace. It's been a little bit. I did just drop a another episode this morning with my friend Kevin Schultz. We talked about hemp transportation. You guys, I'm all about the niche in this industry. Like, I feel like as you're building up your business, book of business, whatever that looks like, it's so much more effective to get out there and go after a singular freight type. And we talked about this, again, guys, like, this is the strategy I'm taking in my freight brokerage. And it's the strategy that I've taken in my past roles as a freight broker. Is I'm going after a very specific niche market, you guys, because I need to build up. Like, I'm in a startup mode. There's only 2 of us out here, and we're literally going after this, and we're being very strategic about how we are going to grow out our brokerage. And to me, it's always about having that same conversation time and time again and going after, because I think a lot of us would be pleasantly surprised if we actually broke down how much freight really moves on a lot of these lanes that are out there. I mean, we got to stop chasing markets, especially when you're trying to build this stuff up. I'm not saying, like, as you grow and your business grows, your services don't expand. Of course, it naturally will. But I think if you're out there starting out and building up, start with one thing. Start with one freighter. If you're going to move food, specialize in refrigerated freight, find a niche region, and then just go after that and commit to it, though. You guys commit to it, and I guarantee you'll see a difference out there. Yeah, Dion, that's insane, man. It's at $5.30 a gallon up there in Chicago. It's $4.70 in there. Xena, insane. I'm assuming you're talking about the fuel costs out there, or just this overall thing. Cody Miller, good fucking morning to you, sir. Good to see you out there. That's right, man. Niche down and stay focused. I love that. Let's do some little market updates here, you guys. I'm going to go off of some of the tools that I'm using out here in the market conditions that I'm seeing. And yeah, so this is just all complete random that I'm pulling this up right now. But, if you're looking at Richmond, Virginia right now, outbound Richmond, Virginia, there is 1,100 trucks to 1,800 loads, and it's a neutral market capacity in the outbound. Inbound is looking a little bit different. It's moderately tight. Inbound, we got 400 loads to 2,500 trucks in that. And then also Fort Myers, Florida, obviously was just hit with that hurricane recently. Inbound is very tight. It is 2,700 loads to 7,400 trucks. And then also their outbound, though, that's where it's at. There's 4,600 trucks to 12,000 loads that are out there. So those drivers are going to be making some serious money going in and out of there. And let's pull up another market here. Let's pull up some reefer markets here. Let's go Des Moines, Iowa. We're just going to go some random fucking cities here, you guys. Des Moines, Iowa, very tight capacity outbound. We got 4,600 trucks to 3,000 loads. Inbound, very loose. It's 2,500 loads to 1,700 trucks. And then let's go Louisville, Kentucky. Let's check out Louisville and the reefer market. Inbound Louisville right now is slightly tight. It's 7,400 trucks to 4,300 loads. And then it is moderately tight in the outbound reefer market going on out there right now. And that is 11,800 loads to about 10,000 trucks overall. So again, you guys, like, what do you do with all this information without knowing how each and every one of you guys who are listening to this really are going after your customers? To me, the reefer market right now is, if it's moderately tight, very, and then into the moderately loose capacity and everything else, you got to look at it like this. If you're going to go at this freight market here going up through peak season, how consistent can you hold your pricing? I think that's going to be key, especially when you're going through, a lot of companies are getting their RFPs out there for 2023 and everything, but how consistent can you remain in your pricing? That's what you need to focus in on. How consistent can you remain? And then furthermore, you guys, when it's a broker's market, again, I'm not here to tell anybody how to run their fucking business, but here's the strategy I'm taking right now. I am going to be very much keeping my carriers' rates the exact same or elevated, because my strategy is to buy up fucking capacity. Because as a broker, your technology doesn't mean jack shit if you don't have trucks to come in and pick up your freight. So for me, it is about there and being competitive on the customer cycle and keeping and compressing my margins right now. It's easier said than done. I know some people have the other mindset that I used to have early on in my career is, oh, fuck this, I'm going to make all my money right now. Very short-sighted, you guys. It's very short-sighted. But again, this is going to be a massive opportunity out there. And again, you guys do what's best for your business. But I think being very niche specific here going forward is going to be very much in your guys' favor as a whole. Yeah. And again, all the stuff that I break down, you guys, I have a YouTube channel, The Freight Coach. I also have the Coffee with the Freight Coach podcast, where I will put all the audio only version replays of this out there, as well as my long form interviews that I drop. If you guys find value in this stuff, share the show, subscribe and share this stuff out, rate it. If you could help your boy out. It'd be, it's all I can ask at the end of the day, you guys. And let me see here. Let's break down some articles. I think that's what you guys really came here to see. Hold on. Alexander, to be efficient, you have to be sure you're specialized enough in what you're doing. That way you help everyone around you. Yep, very much. Ronald, I appreciate that, sir. Ronald Welton says, I love this show, and I appreciate that. Erica Hamilton, good morning, and let's fucking go. You are correct, Erica. Good to see you back here again today. All right, first article. Freightwaves.com. FMCSA cancels emergency hours of service waiver. Be aware, this is in regards to the one that's been in place since March of 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And it is the FMCSA quietly let elapse a national hours of service exemption in place over the last 2 years, a move that supported by both major trucking companies and truck safety advocates. It was first put in 2020, right at the beginning of COVID and everything else. And it was modified about 10 times. It gave drivers and carriers more flexibility to deliver shipments of livestock, medical supplies, vaccines, groceries, and diesel fuel by waiving those restrictions. But in the most recent extension, which is issued back in September, it expired and it was not renewed. We evaluated the data coming back and who was using it. And, they pretty much said that they're looking at where they were, and the guidance has been coming out, and it was the best decision to let it expire. Also, don't let that's like the national one as a whole. I believe there's still, again, I probably shouldn't say this, but I also don't know. The hours of service exemption for storm relief freight going on out there in Florida and stuff. So there still might be one as a whole, but this one was more specifically geared towards the COVID stuff that was out there. And let me see. Hutchinson said the tools that we have are limited and to the authorities that we have, but based on the feedback we received, it was the right call to make. It noted that certain cargo being hauled has been steadily declining. The ATA appreciated the emergency declaration relief in the early stages. Most ATA members no longer feel that it's necessary, the group said in the response, and they also continue to voice concerns that continuing regulatory relief may be used to circumvent the hours of service regulations that are going on out there. Again, I think at the end of the day, it was time to pretty much remove this as a whole. I don't think that it was increasing anything or, the change that it just wasn't there as a whole. So I can definitely agree with the FMCSA that, again, you guys, it's like, you got to fucking draw a line in the sand. You can't go back and forth. And I think that the fact that there was some exemptions for some things, I think that at the end of the day, it needed to happen. And of course, there's going to be people, the livestock and animal feed haulers, they wanted to continue it. Obviously, there's going to be some supporters of it, and that they've been experiencing significant rail service challenges and emergency truck freight that has been indispensable. I mean, it's like, let's call it what it is. If they would have waited until like November or December to do this, the grain haulers and stuff like that probably wouldn't care as much, just due to the fact that harvest season's over. I think like they were kind of hoping to get as much turns in. Again, this is just my perspective. Like, what would I do if I was advocating for grain haulers and knowing it's like right at the end of harvest season and all the mills are full? They're looking to bring a bunch of fucking shipments out of there. So I could definitely see why they were doing that. Again, that one was from Freight Waves, you guys, and it was the FMCSA cancels emergency hours of service operation. Julia, I appreciate that. And Julia hustles for these fucking followers, you guys. One Call Logistics. I'll put it out there because I respect the fucking hustle that she brings. She wants to get her brand out there. Let me see here. Next article. So this was an interesting one. I'm familiar with this case. I have surface level understanding of it because I talked to an attorney that was a part of a similar lawsuit. I don't know if they were specifically a part of this one, so I can't quote that, but I know because I was on another platform where we were talking about biometrics, and this one was, you guys, from ttnews.com, and then truckers win over BNSF in case regarding Illinois biometrics law. Some of this shit is just fucking, be aware of what you agree to in sharing your data and stuff. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. But with what they're talking about in here, and what is believed to be the first jury verdict related to the Illinois strict biometrics privacy law, a $228 million judgment has been entered against BNSF Railway in a class action lawsuit of the railroad's collection of fingerprint data. This is the first example of a jury standing up and saying, yes, this is important information that is highly sensitive and worth protecting. And that came from an attorney representing one of the drivers in there. In the federal lawsuit, Richard Rogers, a truck driver for a third-party company, said that BNSF requires drivers to use fingerprints and related biometric information to access the railroad's intermodal facilities. But the railroad failed to get written consent before collecting and storing biometric information and failed to disclose in writing the purpose for which it was collecting and storing the data, violating Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act, he had said in the suit. The class action lawsuit covered 45,000 members. And after the judgment entered, each could get about $5,000 for that. All right. Let me see that. Obviously, BNSF spokesman, said, we disagree and are disappointed by the jury's verdict. And we think the decision reflects a misunderstanding of key issues, which I'm not shocked by that. I would probably say the exact same fucking thing if I was in their position. I think, though, so the Illinois placed restrictions on businesses' collection, storage, and use of biometric data when the legislature passed the Biometrics Privacy Information Act in 2008. At the time, the law was considered the toughest in the nation, requiring written notification and prior consent, prohibiting profiting from the data, and allowing people to sue over allegations of violations. I agree with that. I don't think, like, if you're going to agree, you require some things, you should be consent. Like, I don't want my I've had my fucking identity stolen before, and it was a fucking process to get that shit back. And if you're going to use biometric data and you are going to do it and not have a laid out plan of what this information's for, like, yeah, why the fuck are you selling this shit? Because I think that's probably what it boils down to, because it prohibits them from profiting off of that data. How do you profit off of it? You sell their fucking data. This is also... Other companies have reached settlements and lawsuits brought under the law, including Google and the parent company of Snapchat. And this one, the BNSF one, was the first one that went to trial as a whole and reached a verdict. And, I think it would make it clear to companies that you should need this data before you collect it. And if you do collect it, you should comply with the law. I would agree with that. I think that at the end of the day, it's fucking insane. Again, I don't know all the specifics of the case. And I know, like, some of the surface information that I was doing is that they were storing it without consent, and then God knows what they're doing with it. Again, it's just like, at the end of the day, people are going to know where you are, whether we like it or not. But I think that if you're going to require certain information to be utilized at your facilities, you should have consent of the person who is going to be giving up that information, so they are protected in that regard. Let me see here. But yeah, you guys, I would read up on that, especially if you're in Illinois, which, is supposedly, from what they say, the freight hub of North America, supposedly. I think Phoenix, Arizona is that. But anyways, conversation for a different day. That one was from ttnews.com. Truckers win over BNSF in case regarding Illinois biometrics law. Again, you guys, as always, I put all the links to the articles over on the Coffee with the Freight Coach audio only replay, as well as the YouTube channel, The Freight Coach. So again, I want you guys to do a lot of your own research on this as well, because again, all of this shit affects you. Like yesterday, I had Ann Renke on the show, who I absolutely love. She's fucking phenomenal. She's the CEO over at the TIA. And, a lot of these legislative issues that affect our industry, you guys, you need to get out there and get vocal. If you're not a member of the TIA, I would highly recommend looking into that, or other government advocacy, advocacy groups out there like the ATA and the TCA and TMSA and stuff like that. Like, look into these, you guys. And then most importantly, though, get vocal with your local elected officials. If you don't like some of this shit that is out there, and especially some of the stuff that comes through the FMCSA and the DOT, like our elected officials fucking oversee a lot of these departments and stuff. So if you don't like some of the shit, call them, talk to them, get vocal about this stuff. Like, remember, the politicians work for us. All right. They work for us, the citizens of the United States of America. Fucking don't forget that. Sorry. Had to get a swig of my coffee here. Last article. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is a pretty big fucking deal. This one was from CNBC. Kroger agrees to buy rival grocery company Albertsons for $24.6 billion with a B. I don't know about you guys, but I'm old enough to remember Austin Powers. So every time I hear the word billion, I think of fucking Dr. Evil. But anyways, let me see. Nicholas, Illinois Purge State 2023. That's funny. Rival grocers Kroger and Albertsons announced a plan to team up. Kroger agreed to buy them at $34.10 a share in a deal valued at $24.6 billion. Kroger is the second largest grocer, which I honestly thought Costco was, but it's good to know. Behind Walmart, obviously Walmart is the nation's biggest grocer. Albertsons was fourth. Costco is third. And together, what's crazy is with this merger, they're still in second place, but it brings them closer in second place behind Walmart, just to put out there how big Walmart is as a whole. It says that the tie-up comes during a challenging time in the grocery industry. Supermarkets have raced to keep up as shoppers embrace new ways of restocking the fridge. Companies invest in automation, employee training, and so on. Grocers have also been hard hit by inflation, and as food prices have jumped up 11.2% from a year ago, which I'm sure everybody who's watching or listening to this show can definitely fucking resonate with. Companies had to weigh when to pass on higher costs to customers and to absorb them to stay competitive. And, like, this gives them a total of, between the two of them now, we got public school education here, 5,000 stores nationwide. And it's got like 700,000 employees nationwide. And, because it goes on to talk about how the grocery industry is highly fragmented. I know HEB, which is like religion in Texas, Publix out in Florida, and, they're power players in their respective regions just due to their strong loyalty that's coming out there. And then Aldi, which I'm a fan of Aldi. I think Aldi is great. It's going on and talking about how all of this, but again, like from a freight perspective, because I know this is why you guys are all here. I personally think this is going to be pretty big overall, like the shared distribution networks and everything else that was going on. I think it's going to be huge. And, most importantly, I fucking really hope the suits in DC allow this to go through, because I think this is a solid merger as a whole. It's a free market at the end of the day. And I think, let me see here. It goes on to say that, Kroger and Albertsons would need regulators to sign off, because they have to look at where the company's dominance would have too much power if combined. I don't know. I'd say Walmart has a lot of fucking power and they're not doing anything about that. So, I mean, if there's just bringing another challenger to the table, bring it on, man. Competition's fucking healthy. Some companies' markets have significant overlap, such as Southern California and so on and so forth. And other regions in Northeast and Southeast have little overlap. And it brings a complementary footprint, and the combination will likely undergo a lengthy review, which I don't think it should have to go through a lengthy review as a whole. But again, from a freight perspective, I think that this is going to be another solid opportunity, especially if you're out there specializing in food and beverage, dry and refrigerated freight and everything that's going out there. I think it's going to be a massive opportunity. I don't know how it's going to work out. Like, obviously, this is probably going to affect 2024 more than anything, because obviously 2023 RFP season's pretty much well underway. And I doubt they're going to combine RFPs or anything, but you never know. I think that this is going to significantly open up the market, though, and get your pencils ready. I think this is going to be a massive opportunity. And, you never know. This might open up the footprint for the regional players that are out there that you guys can see now getting out there from a regional perspective and taking it on. If I was going after this stuff as a whole, I would 1000% be firing up any form of communication to get in the door with somebody like that, if you like doing it. Obviously, be aware when it comes to Kroger's and Albertsons. You guys are probably all aware of that, don't be late to their shit, because it can wreak havoc on your week and everything. But I think that, again, you guys, this will yield a massive opportunity, and especially in a time when a lot of people out there are, if you're looking at the economy and everything else, a lot of people are going to go into defense mode. They're going to go into defense and they're going to start playing it safe. I am doing the exact opposite of that. I am all fucking offense. All right. For the next, God knows, well, forever, until the end of time, until I don't have another breath in my body, I'm all fucking offense in my companies. This is a great separation season, you guys. This is a great opportunity for a lot of you guys to get out there and fucking dominate your competition and grow your books of business and everything else. And again, you're not going to get it by sitting on the sidelines and hoping these opportunities come to you. All right. So get out there and see what value can you add to somebody's network. Having access to trucks is not a value add. So if you're out there cold calling, we'll fucking switch it up a little bit here for the last couple of minutes, doing a little coaching session here. If you're out there cold calling based off of the premise that you have access to trucks and you could possibly save them money, stop right now. There's a reason why people aren't letting you in the door. And there's a reason why you're getting put on those fucking distribution lists and you're never winning anything. What value can you bring to somebody? Having access to trucks is the expectation, you guys. All right. As a freight broker, that is the expectation. There's no value add there. That's what I mean when I say all of your technology and shit is meaningless if your trucks don't show up. But for you to get in the door with people, what angles can you take? Be very specific about why you're calling. All right. Like if I moved dry or groceries, I would be all about the specialization and I would word it accordingly. I would also be very specific about why I'm calling you guys. Look at like the power lanes, for example. Nobody needs help on Los Angeles to Dallas. All right. Nobody needs help on Atlanta to Chicago or fucking Philadelphia down to Dallas. Nobody needs help on that. So how are you going to get in the door? Get in the door off of the lower volume lanes and stuff like that. Like, look at it from this perspective as well. Short hauls, you guys, ton of opportunity that's out there like that. Because a lot of people who are larger brokers, and this is just what we did back when I was employed by a large broker, we would bid on shit, but our money was made on the long haul freight. And if we took those loads, it was so we would make a lot of money on them. So think about that from a pricing perspective. How are people actually bidding that stuff? A lot of people go in on short haul freight and regional freight and overinflate the fucking price to the customers because they don't want to deal with it. All right. So for the people out there like us, the little guys who are out here trying to fucking build our shit, start in and get in the door with that. There's a lot more opportunity that's out there. And talk about finding a more productive way to build up a carrier loyalty base is keeping people local, paying them about $1,000 a day, because that's what a lot of these people could get if they just stayed local, and just paying them a couple $100 a turn, do multiple turns a day. It's out there, you guys. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy, but it's an opportunity for you guys to get out there and separate yourself in the market. But I think that's it for today. I'm going to be doing, I'll be joined by Trey Griggs tomorrow. He's going to be coming on. And yeah, we're going to be back tomorrow, you guys. The Freight Coach Morning Show. We are the top show in transportation. Let's call it. We're not a morning show. We're the top fucking show in this industry. And we are live every single day, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and to provide some actual insight into what you guys can do with all this information. I appreciate you guys all so much for your support. And if you saw value in this, share the show. All right. That's all I can ask at the end of the day, because if you guys see value in it, your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys all so much, and we'll be talking to you soon.